タクスティック回すティックタクティックステップステップスタック測る刻むところと心からだつるつるすべすべなめらかな嘘と感触で生かせて磨くとがらせる交差する平らになる私は何ひら回すティックタクティックステップステップスタック測る刻むところと心からだ愛はもうこのま ツルツルすべすべな滑らかな嘘と感触で活かせて磨くとがらせる交差する平らになる私は何ひら
Chat. Good morning. It is a cloudy Sunday morning. Good morning, everybody. I've decided I want to get the High Elf video out by maybe Thursday. I think Thursday's a good day to drop it. Maybe. We'll see. That'll also change our stream schedule because we don't want to do live streams right after a video. But if true, because we're going to have a hell of a busy week then. It'll be, Monday we'll be doing Black Sad. Tuesday, nothing too crazy. This all depends on, if the sponsor gets back to us soon. Nothing too crazy on Tuesday. Wednesday, we're doing book club, potentially. If everything goes into plan. Yeah. I'm a busy bee. Today, Carrie and I are going to record questions for High Elves, which will take, 5 minutes. I gotta record the fucking heads. I recorded Carrie's, but I haven't recorded mine. Enjoyed Black Sad Part 1. Get ready for Part 2. It won't be as long. We're pretty into it. But the mystery, it's unfolding. What's going on? But yeah. So Thursday release day will probably be pretty good. I also need to very quickly make an ad for the start of the video where I go, hey, if you want our merch is gonna have a sale on Friday for a week. I spilled my Tamiya super thin onto a sprue. Ooh. 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 Yeah, I've done something like that before. I've done something similar. The reason why my Captain and Terminator armor's head is 3D printed is because I was securing the sprue. I was securing the head into where it was, but the fucking Tamiya was so thin, it flooded into like the eye lenses, so it just completely globbed it up, and I was like, ah, fuck. You know, it's rough out there. But yeah, busy week. Busy week. Which means, depending on how things go, chat. Well, maybe we stream Tuesday. Maybe I'll talk to Carrie about that. Maybe, because I was like, Carrie wants to do Nikki. Well, no. Tamagotchi might have to... We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. This week's going to be busy, though, and I got to plan a lot of stuff, and I am not fully awake to start planning shit. We're not going to go super long today for the painting stream. We're just going to get in, do some edge highlights and stuff. We got to start highlighting black, baby. That's going to be fun. Aren't you excited? Aren't you excited? Magic every day. We'll see how things go. But, like, it is kind of funny seeing, like, that we have, like, a stream audience. And some people who have come in from the streams, who have just, like, happened to come in, they go, like, what's this Warhammer shit? And this... I've had thoughts of, like, it'd be really funny if somebody just, like, came in and was like, I like Carrie and Ava when they stream video games and art and stuff, but this Warhammer shit, I couldn't give a fuck. But yeah, this week's gonna be busy for me. Yeah, so today I'm probably gonna have to record some stuff. It's not even Monday. I'm not gonna get too crazy, like, about it. Do you need a cup of coffee? I got one right here. Sounds like a little time for possible voiceover recordings from Carrie. Carrie's schedule, for the most part, I'm like, you need to rest and do whatever the fuck you want to do. So she could do some voiceover projects, maybe. But she's been also trying to figure out, you know, things with the lawsuit and trying to figure out these ketamine things, and we're trying to play a trip, and there's just, like, so many fucking things happening all at once. Ugh. I gotta tell the editor to start getting the next episode going. But I gotta show them, like, the timeline of what it looked like afterward. After I got it. I was just like, could you try like this, you know? That being said, though, today I'll probably export the HD no ads version of the episode. I'll get uploaded to Patreon, and then people who watch that early can see it adless and HD, and you know, it'll be fun. I found an entire set of Primaris bionic arms. Sweet. That's cool. Good morning. Good morning. I love your live stream solo and together, but can I ask why you have a bunch of uninteresting videos about 40,000 Warhammers or whatever? That's fucking funny. But yeah, we're not gonna be up for too long today. I plan to go to maybe like maybe 1 p.m. because I told Carrie I wanted to record questions at maybe noon her time, which would be 2 my time. So I want to wrap up at around maybe 1:30 at the latest. Get recording for the questions. That'll take like 5-10 minutes. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. I'm so disgusted. I'll take that 5-10 minutes. I'll edit that. Stick it on to the end of the episode. Get the credits going. Record the second head. That'll take about an hour. Which means I'll have enough time to get into the friend server to watch Mad Max Fury Road. But while watching Fury Road, because I've already seen the movie, I'm probably also going to be doing some work in the background, such as recording footage for the ad, and then getting that edited, and then typing up a temporary script that I can very quickly do some voiceover for. And now that I've actually used the product, I have actual personal things to say about it. And then, while still, you know, like it's a sponsorship, I gotta say good things. Getting in there, and then I gotta send it over to the peeps, which frankly, not in a rush to do that today because it's the weekend. So I need to do it tomorrow, send it to them, see if it gets approved. Hopefully it does ASAP, and then we can go from there. Also, in the middle of that, I need to export the video as it is probably right now-ish. Well, no, because I need to record the head. So I need to record the head, and then I need to export that version, probably without the questions tacked on. I'll do questions and stuff, and I'll stick that on at the very, very end. Upload that to Patreon. Then do all the other stuff. Is Carrie being sued? No. So, you can't... Okay. Let me be as clear as I can with this. A, it's not my place to talk about it. And B, legally, it is better if we don't. But, no. She is not being sued. I can say that. I can't say anything really beyond that. But this was a big part of the GoFundMe as well. Not just the treatment, but also helping with getting that back on track. Because, yo, lawyers are fucking expensive. And it's been something that she's been really stressed about for a long time. And, you know, we wouldn't be able to even consider continuing... We wouldn't consider looking for further legal consultation and further legal action if we didn't have such a great community. And it sounds like I'm glazing y'all to get like sympathy points, but no, like genuinely. I think YouTube communities, or just like communities in general online, are pretty powerful representations of just like looking at, yeah, no, if you are in a community and you've got the whole like it's all of us together mentality, that's fucking powerful. You can make some life-changing shit happen. Understandable stress, yeah. I refined my theory about Heresy armor marks. Mark 5 is coming next year, with Mark 4 and Tartaros armor coming in the 4th edition box set. Horus Heresy is going to be scouting expansion with Mark 7 being released. Okay. When did... So my only thing that I have a gripe with that, and this is just a personal thing. It's not anything personal. Is that I want Mark 4 sooner. So... when did Horus Heresy 3 launch? It launched last year. We're not gonna see fucking Mark 4 for like a year and a half at least, bro. No! I do agree with you with Mark 5 though. I think Mark 5 is gonna shadow drop like Mark 3 did. unless they pull a fucky wucky and they're like, actually, here's the Mark IV, lol, 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 lol. Like, I don't know. We'll see. The Heresy releases have always been interesting because Heresy stuff is like, they just fucking release it whenever they want. It's crazy. But to go back to what I was just saying, y'all, like, we are good. We're okay. We're living comfortably. And that is entirely thanks to the community support and, like, being able to do these YouTube videos. Now, I like to do the videos a little more so we get a little more income going, but that's a whole other thing. That's why we're working with an editor. That's why we're trying to get this all locked down, you know? Hey, at least we'll get a new 40K edition next year-ish. Miss Cookie. That's like next month. 11th edition's like next month. Like, you've got 2 weeks, basically, until 11th drops. Next week, they're probably going to announce the price of the box and start getting pre-orders going. Horse Heresy getting a Scouring expansion. I'm admitting to... Oh, 100%. Yeah, no. They've talked about how after the Horus Heresy wrapped up with the End of the Death, they were like, yeah, we're going to move on to another thing. And a lot of people thought, oh, Great Crusade? No. We're going into Scouring so we can do things like Mark 7 and Mark 8 armor or whatever. Maybe we can get Bad Ab at some point in the future. Who knows? I'm happy today, Ava. My brother's taking me to a proper store so I can get fruits and veggies for me and my grandfather. There are only dollar stores around me, annoyingly. Yeah. We call those food deserts. There are some places, in America, at least. I don't know about the rest of the world, but I assume that this is also a case there. There's a lot of places that, you know, the ideal human diet is, hey, eat well, eat like a balanced diet, get lots of vitamins and shit, fruits and veggies, all that shit. And there are some people where they've got like a McDonald's and maybe like a Burger King and nothing else, no grocery store for like 50 miles. Those are food deserts. I just realized the box of Terminators I bought were the Assault Squad and not the regular guys. Fuck my life. I thought I might have to do some kit bash and magnetize them. I mean, as someone who has recently bought and assembled the Assault Squad, well, I didn't buy it. Lou very graciously bought it off my throne. Thank you, thank you. And I kit bashed a couple of them. I like that kit a lot. I think Assault Terminators are pretty sweet. I initially was going to go all hammer and shield, but then I was like, the lightning claws are it's simply too cool. So I made one guy into a lightning claw fella. And depending what chapter you're playing as, like Blood Angels, lightning claw Terminators are disgusting. They are fucking gross. Isn't it like 71 attacks or some shit like that? Somebody check that for me. With a certain detachment, it's like, yeah, they get to... It's gross. It's gross. Definitely hard for those who don't have a car. Gotta drive 25 minutes to get groceries. Mm-hmm. I'm very fortunate. I live, like, pretty nearby a store. So I can walk. Like, that's why when the car wasn't working, the battery's fucked up. That's why I wasn't too worried about it. Despite, like... I would check with my mom every so often, and she'd be like, "Is your car fixed?" And I'd be like, Nah, it's all good though. I can just walk to the store. And she would just be like, no, what is... I was like, Mom, it's all good. Don't worry. And she's like, what if there's an emergency? And I was like, if there's an emergency, I feel like I don't know. Like, I think what she was meaning, and this is just me because she didn't specify, but I think what she was meaning is like, what if you're hurt and you need to go to the hospital? And in my mind, I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't see how a car is really going to solve that. I feel like I'm just going to call somebody and be like, hey, could you help me out? It's more like 35 attacks. Still gross. Still gross. I play a Spacewell successor. I want to run them with the new Librarius rules in 11th. I think they'll be great either way. I just have 5 regular guys already painted, one in a full 10-man squad. Fair enough. I get that. You get 1 extra attack off of a Charge and Liberator assault group. Yeah, that's the one. Dude, hey, my Space Marine girlies in chat. Do you also wish the Librarius detachment was just kind of how Psychers worked in 40k? Do you wish that where you could pick like a psychic doctrine? Do you wish that? Isn't it crazy that that's what it was in earlier editions? My love, my world, my darling. Hello, Carrie. Good morning. Good morning. Carrie, we're still on for recording today at noon your time, right? Which means I'm probably going to wrap up here about 1:30. Good morning, my love. Good morning. I hope you had the most wonderful dreams. I love you. Psychers should be terrified. Psychers should be fucking wizards. I'll tell you what. I played in one of the only 40k games I've played where I was played CSM, and I brought a Master of Possession with a brick of Possessed. And I sent them up the field. And I was like, oh, the Master of Possession gets to attack with his psychic attack. And I was really excited. And then it was just a gun, but it had the psychic keyword. And I could target a hero specifically. And then Lou's fucking Space Marine captain just went, that's cute. Ching! Blood Angel captain just fucking, he royal guarded, bro. He fucking royal guarded. I might be ordering my birth certificate today as well. Happy days. Hell yeah. Hey, Traden, word of advice. If you don't already have one, try to get like a fireproof safe and keep all of your important documents in that fucking thing. I've got one. Everybody I know has one. You don't want to lose those documents. Not just because, like, they're important, but also they're really fucking annoying to to replace. Should be good to go for now. Coffee? Yes, my love. Yes. Oh, wait. Hold on. I'll ding my ring against my... There we go. Cheers. I don't have one, but I have a useless mini fridge that I don't use, so that's my safe. I would upgrade that to an actual safe when you can, when you have, like, the budget for it. The one that I have was, like, $50. But I bought it, like, 3-4 years ago now, and, I mean, I haven't had to use it, which some people might be like, oh, that's fucking bullshit, but frankly, if there was ever a fire, I'm glad I had it. Better to be safe than sorry, you know? My Emperor's Children Sorcerer moved up the field, did 1 attack, then his brain exploded. Fuck. Dude, okay, CSM Sorcerers back in 7th edition had this really cool rule. I played a game of 7th edition with my buddy Cody once. And I was playing Word Bearers, so I was doing a very flavorful thing. And dude, I felt fucking disgusting. Because here's what my Sorcerer did. He walked up the field, right? And I'm sure we got these rules wrong or whatever. To be honest with you, chat, going from like 7th edition rules where the rules are just kind of like, whatever, it's just kind of vibes. And then going to like 10th and AOS and shit like that, and it's like, oh my god, it's clear. It's so clear. 40K is the most clear, but then you get to Horus Heresy, which is like, it's like, oh my god, I can't, Lou, can you screenshot a rule from Horus Heresy so I can show everybody? One second, I gotta fuck with my AC really quick. It's hot. I wish the Psychic Systems was like AOS prayer system. I think it's called the prayer system. Yeah, where you, so for those who don't know, I'll actually read it verbatim. So there's a difference between casting and prayers in Age of Sigmar, because the idea is that with a wizard you're conjuring, you're manipulating the winds of magic, and you're like out of the winds you're forming a fireball, and then you're shooting the fireball into the crowd or whatever, right? But prayers are different because you're praying to a god, Khorne, Slanesh, Sigmar, Grugni, whoever, right? You're praying to a god. What rule do you want screenshot? Any. Give me the most egregious. All right. One minute, chat. Here, I'll show you my screen. It's gonna look a little scary for a second. Don't worry. Prayers. So, here's how prayers work. What the? Huh? This is the FAQ for prayers. Prayer. Banishing manifestations. No. Am I stupid? What is this? No. Oh, here we go. Oh my god. Yes. Okay. Prayers. The declare step of each player will tell you to make a chanting roll of D6. An unmodified chanting roll of 1. The prayer fails. Its effect does not result, and you must remove D3 ritual points from the priest using the prayer. Otherwise, pick one of the following. Give a number of ritual points to the priest equal to the chanting roll. Ritual points can be accumulated over multiple turns. Add the priest's ritual points to the chanting roll. If the chanting roll equals or exceeds the priest's chanting value, the top right of the corner of the prayer, it is answered. Resolve the effect of the prayer, then reset the ritual points to 0. So, the way it works is that every priest, at the start of the turn, at the start of your hero phase, you roll a dice. You're praying, right? You're doing a ritual. You roll a dice, and let's say you get a 6. Okay, you have 6 ritual points. Now, you can lock those in like a pool that you can use to cast later, or you can cast a prayer. Now, some prayers have overcasting. So if it's like, you do this prayer, the target is 6, but if you get an 8, then additional things happen. So some priests have priest 2, meaning you're doing the ritual, right? You're doing the ritual, you get a 6, and you go, I'm going to put that in my pool. And then you do the cast again. And then, let's use this example prayer. So I'm looking for a 7. I've got 6, I put him in my pool, right? And then I go, okay, well, because I'm priest 2, I can cast again. So I roll again, I get another 6. Let's say it's crazy, right? I'm just rolling hot. 12, right? I go, oh shit. Amazing. I am now able to cast this resurrection spell, or resurrection prayer, and then I resurrect that being, and then what happens to my ritual points that I didn't use? They're just gone. It's really cool. I like how the system works. Alright, so that's what that rule looked like. Now let's look at what a Horus Heresy rule looks like. Behold. Peep the horror. This is how to return fire. Trigger, cost, target, process. It is... I would say it is, like, egregious how detailed. It's insane. It is... crazy. It's a pain to reference during a game. I'm shocked that Heresy does not do the AOS thing of... Because if I ask somebody a rule for AOS, and I'm like, how does this thing work? And somebody would be like, 12.5. You go, what? And you go to your rule book, and you go to rules 12.5. There's your answer right there. Every rule is like, hey, the shooting rules are rule 12, and then everything relating to that is 12.1, 12.2, or 12A, 12B, 12C, that kind of thing, right? 4K messy stuff like this is why I'm running 11th edition libraries, even though I have one librarian in my list. So, like, I don't know, like, the fucking... It's cool. Oh, back to my story about 7th edition. Here's what my Chaos Sorcerer did. Wandered up the field, we were learning how to play the game, and my Chaos Sorcerer, I attempted to manifest a demon. Now, I did. I succeeded in manifesting the demon. But it also killed my Sorcerer. You have to, like, use your body as a conduit. So, the Sorcerer explodes. A Bloodthirster appears. Marches up to the Necrons. Start fucking killing. Also, 7th edition, way less killy. It was more killy and less killy in weird ways. But, like, I don't know. I kind of want GW to not be afraid to do weirder shit like that. We talked about this at the end of the last Spearhead game, of which you can go check it out on Patreon. For free. We talked about at the end of that game, where AOS has such weird rules, but AOS is still played at a competitive level. So it's like, no, they can make fun rules. It's just with 40k, I think they're afraid to, because I think they're afraid of player feedback. I played AOS last week. I taught opponent to fear just all the shit I can do with just a wizard too. Mm-hmm. That's not even getting into, like, endless spells, manifestations, banishing manifestations, countering your... Using a command point to try to unbind the spell that the other wizard is doing, or the other priest is doing. Like, there's so much in just the command phase. In the hero phase where you're casting spells and shit. And the spells feel like spells. Like, I am a wizard. AOS fun rules. This Chaos Sword is now a Demon Prince. It might even be your general now. Have fun. Mm-hmm. How many Dark Apotheosis points do you have? Oh, do you have 8? Great. At the start of your next turn, either heal your Chaos Lord to full, or he explodes and he becomes a Demon Prince because his fucking Path to Glory is finished. So now he's a fully healed Demon Prince in the middle of whatever battle or conflict he was just in. And so, narratively, you're like finding a bunch of Stormcasts and they're like, get him! And they're fucking like, there's lightning and dark energies going around everywhere. And then one Stormcast, they fucking... they get the sword into like a chink in his armor, and he just goes and then just fucking transforms into a demon prince, and the fight continues. Like, that's the sickest shit ever. Are you kidding me? That's so sick. Oh, I'm waking up. Ugh. I just realized I could get psychic / prayers if my army adeptus sororitas was if the prayer system was ported over to 40k. It's a cool system. It's a really, really cool system. But now you get miracle dice. Which, let's be fair, miracle dice are cool. They're so cool that Zinch in AOS has them. They're called Fate Die, but it's the same idea as just, oh yeah, you just get to cheat. It's not 1-to-1, the same system, but it's pretty similar. If miracle dice were incorporated into the prayer system, maybe it would be different, and people, I don't know. Whenever you change anything about a faction, anything, there's going to be a large amount of people. Well, sometimes there's going to be an amount of people that hate it just because it's different. It's different. I don't like it. I mean, shit, we can talk about this with MMOs. Start of Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. My main is Dark Knight, and I did not like Dark Knight at the start of Endwalker's expansion. I didn't like the playstyle. I didn't like what they did with it. And when I played Endwalker, I just played Paladin. Now, it's a lot easier than something like 40k, where it's like, okay, well, if I'm playing physically, then that's like a whole other army. But people also prefer 3rd edition models for reasons that are totally not nostalgia. You have to trust me, bro.
They're more modular. Look, you can make the arm go up or down. Or sometimes even straightforward. It's so modular. Look, you can change the heads around.
Listen. I ain't coming to yuck anybody's yum, but every single argument I've seen, like, I get it. Monopose is kind of lame. Whatever. But then they'll talk about some shit like, they'll talk about some shit like these 1980 Terminators, and it's like, they're made of metal, and their arms can either face up or down. They're like, look at this originality. Look at this. I like that Psychic ignores all modifiers and hit to wound in 11th. Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. The Night Rain girlies are freaking out. A Redditor analyzed every FromSoft trailer drop since 2009. He found a pattern with planetary alignments and repeat dates. If it's real, Night Rain Year 1 Anniversary free DLC trailer could drop May 30th, 2026. I'll believe it when I see it. Oh, fuck. 1 minute. It feels like there's a splinter, like, on my face, but there's nothing. Ask that guy when Armored Core 6.5/7 is coming out. Listen. Every time the Night Rain subreddit gets recommended to me, it is people going like, if they don't release the DLC right now, I'm gonna fucking freak out. I've got maybe 2 days left in me. But like, if it happens, cool. I'm excited. There was that one person, I think it was yesterday, who was like, did you see the thing going like, hey, from the leak is that FromSoft's next game is going to be Pirates. And I said, I'll believe when I see it. Also, that source is from 4chan, so don't believe that for fuck. People have insane takes about video games. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. People have some crazy shit takes. It's insane. Leaks are often not true. I mean, we were literally talking about this a couple months ago with the AOS shit, which, like, it's far too early to be talking about end of edition lore. Like, let me put it this way. If those rumors of, like, AOS is going to reset the universe or whatever the fuck, if those started happening, like, in 2 months, I would believe them a little more. But also, A, we talked about this earlier. A, those leaks do not ever get the lore part right. Ever. Because lore is the last part of production. Remember, the lore is nothing more than just fluff. It's set dressing so we can be like, my little toys are fighting your toys, and they're in this place, and they're fighting for this reason. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's not to say it's not cool. Kind of silly to reset it, though. It literally doesn't make sense. AOS is the #2 tabletop war game in the world. Why would you? Because it's not just the lore is like, oh, they're going to reset everything and everything's going to be one realm again. It was also, hey, everything's getting reset. And here's the other kicker. All the factions are getting gone. We're not doing it anymore. There's going to be 3 human factions. Sometimes they're just completely on point, though. Let me put it to you this way. Okay. If I spray shit at a wall, and there's like a bullseye there, some of those particles of shit are gonna get on the bullseye. But the most of it is not. This is why I don't take, like, no offense to anyone who does content on YouTube who's like, here's the next thing happening in 40K, or here's the next thing happening in AOS. No offense to those guys, but they say a lot. And most of the time, they ain't right. And you gotta keep that in mind. Because they'll talk about, like, well, I have sources. But those sources ain't right all the time either. Are you speaking from experience, Ava? This is leaking. This is all leaking. Fucking Nostradamus is this. If you predict fucking everything, yeah, eventually you're gonna probably hit something. But you shouldn't ignore the 1,000 other predictions or leaks that you've made and just focus on the one you did. That's stupid. That's not how statistics work. If I guess that every Primarch is gonna come back next, and then it's like fucking Russ or something, I'm gonna be, and you guys go like, oh my god, Ava, you were right. I'm gonna be so fucking mad. I'm not saying that we've done that, but I'm saying like, if I was sitting here going like, yeah, I think like Jagatai could come back next. And then next week I was like, yeah, I think Roko could come back next. And then next week I was like, yeah, I think that Vulcan could come back next. And then it was like, one of the ones I guessed at some point in history beforehand, and people were going like, oh my god, you're right! Oh my god! I meant more about the spraying shit at a bullseye. I'm trying to use a visual metaphor. I fucking hate Nostradamus. He was so insightful and knew everything that would happen. No, the fuck he didn't. He just made a lot of guesses. And he was right sometimes. Or some things were, like, a little familiar compared to what had happened in modern history. One YouTuber I've seen was right about Gravis with heavy bolter troops. Yeah, but that's not even out of the realm of possibility. Like, that's just, I would say that's an educated guess. As for what is, like, in a box, let me put it this way. You should always be wary of when this information is coming out. I think that's what I'm mostly trying to tell y'all. You should be wary when the info is coming out, because you need to think about it from a business standpoint. It does not take very long for a company to start publishing books. This is why lore is the last thing in the list. It's usually they have an idea, they start sculpting the model, and they work on the design, they work on all that. It takes about 2 years. Once that's done, they go, great, let's make some rules. Or in between that, they start making some rules, right? And then the very last step is, let's create some lore ideas. Okay, let's get them to print. Let's ship them out. And that is when you should start going. That's when usually leakers will start to be like, okay, here's the box, here's this, here's that, yada, 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 right? It's when they're starting to put them in boxes. Because they're going to be shipped and made to pre-order or whatever in like 2 to 3 months. That's usually when we start seeing the really reliable leaks. But if you see somebody getting like a shot in the dark going like, I know what 12th edition's gonna be, laugh at them. Because for every content creator who's right about Gravis with heavy bolters as a 3-man squad, they've probably said like 8 other things that are wildly incorrect. You're forgetting Major Kill. I genuinely have never watched a Major Kill video. Yeah. I don't. '12th edition's is going to be about Warhammer 40k. That's fucking crazy. Why would you say that? But this is all to loop back to the AOS stuff and talking like the thing that was leaked was so ludicrous, but also the thing that made it absolutely the worst was like the thing that took the credit out of the thing that completely eradicated any and all credit were 2 things. Number 1, it was the fact that right after the leaks happened, allegedly there were a bunch of employees that got shuffled around, and that leaker deleted all of their post history and went, hey, it's over, bye. A little interesting that happened. Anyway, number two. Number two is the timing. We're in 40K City. If you're an AOS fan and you only give a fuck about AOS or Old World, God, or Horus Heresy or whatever, don't. Because right now, it's 40K time. My crazy theory for 12th 40K will be Space Marines versus CSM Ultramarines versus War Bearers. See, I don't think that's likely because I feel like that's not going to be possible. Let me explain why. We have seen that at least with the synergizing, they're keeping Heresy and 40K separate. They're keeping them pretty fucking separate. So like when the Heresy 3rd edition trailer came out and there was like Salamanders versus Iron Warriors, right? And I saw people hooting and hollering going like, this means Vulcan is coming back to 40K. And I just looked at them and go like, what? What? No, that's not what that means at all. I saw people that meant that Perturabo was coming back. No, I think they just picked two legions that people are fans of, and that was what they based the box around for the trailer. That was it. As for everything else, you might say like, well, Ava, Perturabo's being teased. Yeah, but I genuinely believe that was a separate decision because they're out of monogod Primarchs, and so they're going, well, what Primarch could we bring back? Do we want to bring back Lorgar? Nah. Let's do... Well, what's a really popular legion that hasn't gotten a lot of attention? Iron Warriors. Okay, let's do that. Alright, we'll hype this up and we'll make a upgrade kit. And the upgrade kit is fine, it's whatever. But that's all you're gonna get. And a character. You got a character. But frankly... my CSM girlies, I think that's all you're going to get. I think eventually Perturabo will release, so you'll be able to play Perturabo, the main Iron Warrior guy. That's like the character you can play as. But I think that's it. One of the worst upgrade kits? Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Voton versus Exodite's Hail Mary. I don't see Space Marines in there, so frankly... Wrong! Wrong! No Terminator shoulder pads. I'll tell you why that is. I'll tell you why. Because Terminators are gonna get refreshed. Chat, I was right. I fucking called it. When they showed that box off at the preview show, and it was nothing but orc choppas, and like the helicopters, Defcopters, and the bikes, that's all the box was, I was like, that's them getting rid of backstock. And lo and behold, we saw the new bikes in the fucking thing where they were talking about the pre-painted terrain. That shit, I called it. But the Red Corsair upgrade sprue has Terminator shoulder pads? Oh, then I don't know then. Whatever. I do think that Terminators are getting refreshed, though. I'm hoping for new helis. Again, this is the Orc edition. As much as, like, everybody's like, oh, I'm so sick of Space Marine. Whatever, shut up. They're gonna be there. It's fucking Pikachu. It's Pikachu! It's Pikachu! Of course Pikachu is gonna be in the fucking Pokemon thing! Deal with it! It's Pikachu! Anyway. This is the Orc edition. Meaning, all through 11th edition, orcs are going to be eating pretty well. In terms of model releases. Should have brought back Alfarius. I don't know what the fuck you would even do. I feel like Alpha Legion are kind of one-trick ponies. You learn the gimmick, and then you get really fucking sick of the gimmick. It feels very similar to Dark Angels, where every single book is just, I'm so suspicious of everyone. Also, we have to hunt down any traitors. But I'm not a traitor. I could never be a traitor. Whatever, have your Charmander. Blood Angels are Charmander. Ultramarines are Pikachu. You know the most interesting thing that has ever happened to Alpha Legion? It's Mike Brooks' books. Where the main character is like, guys, our Primarch is dead. Fucking get over it. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, finally. Finally. Who's less likely to come back, Lorgar or the Khan? What do you mean by less likely? Because both are equally as likely to come back at some point. And you might even say, like, well, Ava, there are some Primarchs that are dead, like, canonically dead. And I'm going to tell you, they're going to be dead until they're not. They're going to be dead until they're not. All Ultramarines are electric rat Pokemon, and Ultramarines are specifically Pikachu. I think that's a good way to put it. I'm Alfarius, or am I? Yeah, it's fucking annoying. I will say it's interesting that the Defiler kit that just came out does have a specifically for Word Bearer's head. I think that's really cool. I don't necessarily think that means anything. Because frankly, I saw, you know, I think about these things like, okay, well, they're probably going to release... I don't think we're ever going to get to a point where Iron Warriors and Word Bearers and all the other Chaos Legions have their own codex. I think that's silly. But I do think they will at least get upgrade sprees. But then there was a part of me that was like, I don't know, because Word Bearers aren't that unique in their visual aesthetics. Like, they're just red Chaos Space Marines. That's honestly, yeah, like, my CSM that I've been painting on streams, they were Word Bearers before I stripped the paint and then fucking painted them as Black Legion. Like, it's the same shit. Aren't two Primarchs super dead? You mean Horus, who they retconned that his soul was obliterated? You mean that one? You mean the one where the Emperor said, and I quote, I forgive you and I wait for you? You mean that guy? Damn. Mm-hmm. The ever suspicious gimmick gets old because the Imperium is just forever witch hunting anyways, so like you can only push that so far. No, but you don't understand. We Dark Angels, we like the most interesting thing about Dark Angels genuinely is talking about the implications and the implications and analogies to being queer. And how, like, we have to keep it a secret lest we be destroyed by society or, like, each other or whatever. Like, I think there's an interesting conversation there, but I don't think GW wants to push it too far. They just want to keep it to, like, a neat little, just a neat little, like, oh, hey, this is cool. Like, let's talk about that. Like, that's fun. And it's a cool conversation to have. The Dark Angels are queer coded. New headcanon accepted. Okay, Coco, do you know where their name comes from? So there was an 18th century poet named Lionel Johnson. Not Lion L. Johnson. Lionel Johnson. A real man name. And he wrote a poem called The Dark Angel. Now, some things you need to know about Lionel is that he was extremely devout Catholic. He was also gay. And so The Dark Angel, if you read it, you can just find it online. It is about him struggling with his desires and his faith. And it is tragic to read it. 19th century then. Yeah. The Fallen are very weird, are like the redheaded stepchild of CSM. Fallen, you just use 30k minis and then paint them with, listen, hey, do you want 2 armies? Let me tell you how to get 2 armies. Buy a bunch of Horus Heresy kits and paint them as Dark Angels. Boom, CSM Fallen. There you go. Oh, it runs deep then? Oh, yeah. No, like, it's barely subtext. It might as well be text. But again, with any analogy, it's not perfect. It's not one-to-one. Obviously, we're in space and we're like Arthurian knights or whatever. But there's an interesting conversation to have there. Some authors use subtext. They are cowards. True! Carrie has sent me something. How to kill everyone's motivation. 1 minute. Oh my fucking god. Holy! Well, fuck me. Fuck me, I guess. What the fuck? What the fuck? Holy shit.
No, we have to stop here.
What the fuck? That's crazy. Main character ass. What the fuck? That man is a beast of it. That's fucking crazy. That was a player character. I will surpass him. I don't know if you can. I think by the time you get to that level, he's already like 4 times as strong. Holy shit. I ain't gay, but that awakens something. Image of the white rabbit pointing at the stopwatch. Pride flag, question mark. He was just stuck in a different animation. He was spamming the emote wheel. What the fuck? That's rude. That's rude as fuck to be on a hike and just outperforming literally everybody else. Holy shit. That's insane. I know the repentance thing is a part of sisters, but I wish there was a minor order dedicated to the who repentance thing. You're asking for a crumb of sisters representation? You are a fool. Here's the pecking order for Imperium factions with their representation. Obviously, Space Marines at the very top of 40k, period. Right under that, Guard. Right under that, Sisters. Power gap. Everything else. What is that? What is this, Carrie? Carrie, what is it? You sent me a dude who is like a main character made flesh. You sent me the main character, and then you send me this creature. Egg. Space Marines, Guards, Custodies, Agents of the Imperium, Sisters of Battle. I'd switch Sisters with Agents of the Imperium, but yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Scrungly thing. She sent me the caption: egg for scale. It kind of looks like what Carrie looks like in the morning. I'm like, good morning, my love. She looks at me. She's like, oh. Where's my coffee? I'll get it to you, my love. I also look like this in the morning, so don't get it twisted. That's not me coming for her. No, 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 no. That kitty is 1 apple tall. Yes. Look at it. God. He has the weight of a light snack. God. Vulcan strikes me as someone who has a room full of lost cats he found in the Crusade. Yeah, and right next to that are all the Imperial human citizens who didn't want to adhere to the Imperial truth and didn't want to be colonized in a furnace. I don't make the rules. That's just what it is. I dislike the whitewashing of salamanders. They're still horrible. They just might be a little nicer to you or prioritize your protection a little bit more than the average Space Marine. I mean, if I'm picking any legion to defend my city, they'll defend it until they need to leave and to a city that's more prioritized strategically. So you'll be protected, maybe. Remember, this is Warhammer. Salamanders are leagues above other Space Marines, but they're still bad. I wouldn't even say leagues above Space Marines, considering their third company is literally dedicated to, hey, we're going to find anybody who is even suspected to being a heretic and burn them alive. That's the purpose of the third company. I prefer the legions that are morally gray because the nicer ones are worse somehow. Yeah, I really want Space Marine to smile at me while he's burning me alive and going, I'm doing this for your own good. Chad, did you see Pariah Nexus, the show with Sakan the Salamander? You saw how quickly he flipped, because he went like, hey, why are you attacking me? Stop attacking me. And then he like took the mask off the Krieg and was like, and then immediately fucking snapped his neck and went sicko mode on all of them. That's how a salamander operates. It's like, oh, interesting. To be fair, they were possessed or something. But I'm using that as an example to demonstrate, like, even if you're nice, if you're like, I don't know, by the Imperium, it's like, yeah, but they don't worship the Emperor. Or they don't exactly get along with, they're not adhering to the tithe. They're traitors. Ah, traitors. Well, yeah, they were gone. Oh my god, y'all. I'm using it as an example to show you how quick they turn. He even held the guy up who lunged to figure out why he, instead of outright killing him. Yeah, for like a second. That's a shit example, man. I'm sorry to come for your guy. I'm sorry to come for your salamanders, but I think, frankly, you gotta stop seeing these guys as human. I'm sorry. The Space Marines are fucking freaks. Yeah, they're all monsters and, like, would kill me without a second thought if I was deemed a traitor, but they're nice to me, though. They're kind of nice, though. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. And I'm like, ah! All Space Marines are bastards. That's damn true. They are tanks with legs. Who isn't a bastard in 40k, though? Yeah, but it's like... But he's so cute. Do we want to talk about how they go home to their families and support their local governments when they're not on duty? You mean that thing that's from 5th edition and hasn't been spoken about since 5th edition? That's like a gray area of canon. No, until it's retconned, it's canon. Hasn't been outright non-canonized. La 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 la, we can't hear you. Listen, I like the headcanon. Don't get me wrong. But also, if it hasn't been talked about in like 20 years, I don't know. Also, I find the phrasing "their families" to be a little odd because, and this is just a me thing, Space Marines, when they go through the process, they don't remember who they were. So that's like extra not in canon to me. Now, if you want to interpret it as their families being their community, sure, fine. Ava, thoughts on Dorn's poop chalice? Dude, not outright decanonized, meaning... That's it, baby. Yes. Magnus always remembers who he was? Yeah, that's a Primarch. That's not a Space Marine. Elaborate on the poop chalice. So, back when Ian Watson made a book called Space Marine, this is back in like the 80s, he made Space Marines real weird. And one of the things that they talked about with Imperial Fists, the yellow guys, is that they would have copious amounts of feces that they would consume. They would also get their ass cheeks branded with the Imperial Fist logo, which frankly, that's awesome. That's sick. It's really interesting how you're pulling out straw men to deflect. That's not a straw man, it's a funny joke. I don't know why me saying, hey, just because salamanders are like marginally more kind than the average Space Marines, but you should still see them as like horrific monsters, and suddenly I'm the fucking bad guy. The prophet is mean. Take away his funny hat. Listen. The Empire and Darth Vader and stuff, like, yeah, they're kind of monsters, but, like, Darth Vader's so baby girl. But he was nice to me once. No, you're the bad guy by basically saying pick and choose what is canon to yourself and ignore something that's old. Yeah, that's 40K. I started this conversation by going, I don't appreciate salamanders being whitewashed as, like, they're nice, end of statement. Burning Eldar children jokes are overused and unfunny, but they do actually reflect salamanders more authentically. Yeah. To elaborate on what I mean exactly by the 5th edition stuff and how it hasn't been elaborated upon, yes, you're right. It hasn't been officially decanonized, but that is also slippery. Because there's a lot of stuff that hasn't been decanonized. Actually, it was Dark Eldar children? Wrong. It was actually an Exodite child, because they're living on the world. Salamanders also don't like being whitewashed, but that's an issue with their skin tone. No, the definition! What the fuck is this? Was it Exodite even? Yeah, if they're on a planet and they've settled on the planet, they're Exodites. They're wholesome chunguses. They go around killing baby Eldars. Like, Gappy, weren't we just having a conversation with orcs where we were having something similar talking about this? Where you were like, the source that people talk about with how the machinery doesn't make sense is from, like, 3rd edition? Oh my god, that is speed. I've been staring at this while talking to y'all, and I'm just like, I think that's speed. It's also from the perspective of the Mechanicus. Yeah, this is sort of what we were talking about. From the 8th edition Codex Supplement for Salamanders. Unlike many salamanders of the Adeptus Astartes, salamanders do not remain aloof from human population of their homeworld. While not at war or engaged in training and chapter rituals, salamanders warriors live amongst people of Nocturne, while the veterans of the First Company and the chapter's fortress monastery upon Prometheus. Every other company maintains barracks within Nocturne sanctuary cities. Here the Space Marines act as elders for their people, providing guidance and wisdom, as well as mentoring prospective novitiates in the chapter's ways. Mindful of Vulcan's own compassion for those he protected, the Salamanders see this relationship as an extension of their duties in the Imperium as a whole. By living amongst their people, conversing with them, and personally shepherding their survival, the Salamanders learn the humility and understanding that permeates their chapter's culture. I was wrong. Caught. Caught. Hands up. I was caught. I was wrong. But I will also say that's not all that different from Ultramarines. My mom is kinda homeless. My Annie kinda homeless. Yeah, Ultras are also pretty rad. I'd like to think my Ultras are heroes, but I also know that deep down, they wouldn't hesitate to, like, burn a hospital full of, like, babies and infants. They do some fucked up shit. I think that's why what attracts me to Ultramarines more is that there is that variety where, like, they're not... How do I put this? Was the hospital converted to chaos? Worse, it was suspected of being converted to chaos. And remember, in the Imperium, innocence proves nothing. So therefore, there's a book where an Ultramarine... Billie Jean is not my love. She's just a girl that's kind of homeless. Fuck. Salamanders are a bit more community service than Ultramarines, but they're very close. Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to get at, is that, like, Ultramarines are less, like... Like, from this excerpt, we can read that Salamanders are more, like... They come in and they're, like, wise. They're elders. Whereas Ultramarines are more like a... How do I put this? More of a diplomatic role? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I kind of get the vibe that Salamanders are like monks on their home planet, whereas in the 500 world, Space Marines are more like cops. You know, Salamanders also smaller than normal chapters? Probably. Me when someone tells me my faction that has an ingrown rule of kill all aliens and mutants isn't a pure good paragon of morality. But there's a short story or novel. I can't remember. I cannot remember where it's from. But like a new recruit of an Ultramarines is in a squad, And he goes up to a sergeant, and they're like interacting with this kid, and this kid runs away, and she's like, ha ha ha, oh, wow, there's Space Marines, and she runs away, and the sergeant comes up to the new recruit, and he goes, shoot her. And the guy goes, what? He goes, she's probably corrupted by chaos. This entire world is corrupted. So, and he hands him a bolt pistol, and he goes, shoot her. And the new recruit goes, no, I didn't become a Space Marine to shoot little girls. And the sergeant goes, aight, and without looking, just fucking pops her. Oh, he's still talking about it? Why are you so mad, bro? Maybe smaller squads, but they're training like that guy on the hike. They're just going up the volcano. It's crazy. I'm not mad I left for 10 minutes and you're still talking about this. Yeah, I'm a streamer. What streamer do you know? 1 minute. We've come to where my problem lies with the phrase, but salamanders go back to their families. No, they don't. They go back to their planet to support their community, but to their families, no. Show Gappy the elephant, he'll feel better. That's true. Look. Look at him. God. God. A perfect being. Yes, they do. Oh my god. This is what we've been talking about the entire time. If you're gonna say salamanders go back to their families, I need a source. Because all we're seeing is that they go back to the planet and they chill for a bit. Going back to support their communities is not the same as they go back to see their families. Let's be real. Ava, I feel like this is willing ignorance at this point. It's not. If I say I'm going home to spend time with my family, what's the image that comes in your head? But if I say I'm going to go home and support my community, that's different. Salamander politics started to remind me of Tony Soprano defense. The salamanders are heroes! Chat, if you find an excerpt and it's not from some shit like 1988 or some shit like that, what's your opinion on Angron? He's a fucking monster, but he's tragic. I have sympathy, but he's a fucking piece of shit. Even if it's from 1988, until there's something that says it's not canon anymore, guess what, Ava? It's canon. Well, Gappy, I guess orcs, it's just all imaginary bullshit. Oh my god, I think Vivi found the excerpt, and it is the... Oh my fucking god. Deathwatch first founding, page 21. When not engaged on operations or training for them, the salamanders live among their people, and each is the headman of a smaller community of families. The people of Nocturne therefore grow up in a community of godlike warriors to whom they themselves are related. And they aspire above all else to join their race. When is this from? They aspire above all else to join their ranks and fight for their emperor. As every salamander practices the trades of a smith, so many take young apprentices into their service. The best of these being judged worthy to become aspirants and undertake the trials to join as the chapter of neophyte. In the chapter as neophytes, the trials are like those fought between the Emperor and the Primarch, though no man alive could perform such mighty deeds as were seen in that epic undertaking. Nonetheless, the Salamanders are uniquely blessed by their close ties to their kith and kin, and the people uniquely honored in turn. I'm gonna buy the omnibus again to prove this shite. Don't do that. I love how you got to the part where it says they're related and then asked where it's from. When is this from? I mean, it's a genuine question. Like, where is this from? When is this from? Space Marines used to be able to have children. There were half Eldar Space Marines. Like, that's why when it comes from is relevant, because the lore used to be fucking weird. That's not an absurd thing to ask, is like, hey, when was this published? Space Marines used to be able to have children, and they will again when I get my hands on Titus. I found an old-ass book, and I know it's old as bones because all the characters speak like normal people. Can I have Dante? Isn't it Loken implies that he has like a bunch of kids in the Space Wolves? Or is that a weird situation where like he was made late? And so it was like he had a chance. I'm looking for a PDF, but it seems like Salamander spending time with families is discussed in the book Pharos as well. Didn't somebody in our community just read Pharaohs? He was literally half Eldar, only one ear was pointy. Oh. I read it. I can't remember a thing. Oh. Isn't it great to have a community that actively wants to fact check instead of accepting a streamer's accidental misinformation? Yes, genuinely. I want y'all to fact check me. Absolutely. Agnostic chimp be like perchance. Warhammer Rogue Trader First Edition lore when? Well, a lot of that lore didn't actually get explicitly denied, so... You're definitely incorrect because people on the internet can't lie or be wrong. I mean, like... I still don't necessarily agree that the phrasing, they go back to see their families, is accurate. Because I also know, from everything we've seen, how Space Marines operate. They don't remember their past lives. Which is also why I'm curious of the source of what Vivi sent me with the Death Watch First Founding, when that was released. Because depending on the edition, Space Marines are kind of different. Dante went home to his family? Well, I didn't fucking read Dante. Did he remember who they were? Ava, I swear to God, you're going to turn my entire day into research? You don't have to. You drank fizzy lifting drinks, you get nothing, you lose. I'm going to kill you. Two burly Oompa Loompas push you to the ground. You stole fizzy lifting drinks. I just didn't know I was going to poke the damn fucking hornet's nest. For people talking about goddamn salamanders. My Nazis are nice. They have families. Let me get some stuff set up. Why are you talking about Nazis now? I present to you a Space Marine. I present to you a Space Marine. You said something mean about their Glorbos. Apologize. Hey, listen. I'm the fuck... Hold on. You fuckers like, you said something mean about my Glorbo. Me, an Ultramarine fan. Yeah, must be fucking tough, isn't it? Must be fucking crazy. Interesting. Huh. Wow, that's crazy. Oh. Let's highlight a fucking... Let's highlight a fucking Dark Angel. These fuckers giving me conniptions. I say we kill Ava. As an Ultramarine fan, all of you Salamander Glazers would die in my position. Every day. I'm so oppressed. Oh, there's so many knives in my back. My evil space fascists are more nice than your evil space fascists by a marginal degree. Stop making fun of them now! He's vanilla pro maxing. Bro, you're acting like vanilla's like not more valuable than gold. What are you talking about? Oh, also chat, I did some experiments. Behold. Wait. If we show them together, it's fine. I like the darker blue a lot more on this Ultramarine test here. So we're going to go with that one on the chest and stuff. That coloring was... It's just Army Painter Ultramarine blue. And then a recessed shade of a mix of dark gray blue and... Brigandine brown in roughly a 1-to-1 mix. So that's all the recess shades. And then I used... 1 minute. Alpha blue for the highlights. And that's why it looks like a normal Ultramarine. I like the colors. I think it looks good. Let's compare it to a Space Wolf. Pretty fucking sweet. But this is comparing it to the, so this is Pro Acryl Blue highlighted with Sky Blue. And, like, it's very, very vibrant, but I feel personally like the darker blue is going to fit more with the, like, the Space Wolf and stuff, you know? So, that's what I was doing. I fuck with that blueberry so hard. Interesting. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do some highlights. We're going to do a mix of... Okay, so because it's a Dark Angel, we're starting from black, right? Like, there's no recesses to really do because we did it. It's black. So, we're going to go dark, warm gray, and we're going to start highlighting the legs, see how we like it. We'll go there. These models look amazing. Thank you. That Ultramarine is so good and appropriate for their view of themselves as the shining beacon of civilization. Okay, thank you. Because my favorite thing about Ultramarines is their, like, arrogance. They're so, like, fucking holier-than-thou, hoity-toity. But also, like, they... Like, most of their plots is them, like, getting a reality check of, like, no, you can't do this. And I'm like, oh, fuck, yes. Yes. Yes! Hot take, Ultramarine color should be Ultramarine. Yeah, but, like, the fucking... color looks so good. But yeah, no, like, so my thing for Shattered Legions, I've decided on my main 3 guys for my Shattered Legions. I've decided we're gonna go Ultras, This is the main force. Not every model is going to be these forces, but like primarily you're going to see the majority of this trio. Dark Angels, Blood Angels, Ultramarines. We're doing Unremembered Empire, baby. We get some Space Wolves in there. And then some Iron Hands and Salamanders. Yes. Yes, man. Yes. Okay. We're Ultramarines. Overachieving is the point. Yeah. Two drops Salami and Medium to 2 drops Dark Warm Gray. How much is that going to separate, actually? Hold on, let's try this. I found a PDF of Pharaohs. Okay, let me know what you find about the family thing.
Chat, this is also good because now I can use this in my research for when we talk about salamanders proper.
I've tricked you into doing unpaid labor for me. I've tricked you. No, but like genuinely, this has turned into like a disagreement, into like a point of like, no, actually, let's get to the bottom of this. Is it just one of those internet things that people talk about, like, oh my god, Yazgul and Angron are gonna fight each other? Or is it like, okay, no, there's some shit here, or it's more complicated, you know? Okay, we don't want very much on the brush, and then we're gonna get going. Was the disagreement? We started a conversation by me saying, I don't appreciate how whitewashed salamanders are when people talk about them. And I talked about an example where everybody says they go home to see their families, but that's old lore. Now, we found that in 8th edition, that was mentioned. But it wasn't that they go see their families, it's they go back to Nocturne and act as like elders for their community. But we're trying to get to the bottom of this. Do they go see their families, or do they just spend time on Nocturne as like elders and guides and stuff? I think it's an elders and guides stuff. Today's a bit of a shaky hands day. One minute. What if I hold it by the mini?
Grab it by the mini.
Oh, yeah. It's hard if our lines look a little messy with this black highlight because, again, we can just reshade it with black. And it's no big deal, you know? Excuse me. To be fair, if they go and be elders for the community, they probably see their family incidentally unless they're deliberately sent to a place their family isn't. But this also goes into my other thing, is that a lot of Space Marines don't remember their family. Because the whole Space Marine process is like, you know, you're different after the fact. You transform. You are now his angels, or whatever the fuck. But the conversation somewhat devolved into, but my special blorbos. The longer you live, the more shit you forget as a Space Marine. Dante has this problem. Yeah. How long has Dante been around? Over 1,000 years. Dante's old. Boy, has been around for a minute. So already, like, it's such a jump in the black paint. But again, we can touch up anything with black. Like, honestly, black armor is hard, but easy in different ways. You know what I mean? He's about 1400-ish in his book. He is 1,500 years old at this point. Jesus. Has anybody thought to, like, give him a nap? I like to check sources on things, because that's how we get things like the Lamenter's War Cry being unchecked for like 16 years. For those we cherish, we die in glory. When is that said? Never. Not once. In any of their novels, any of the codexes. But everybody thinks that's their war cry. It was said first on the fandom wiki in the late aughts. Jesus. The fandom wiki. If you want to learn nothing about Warhammer, you go to the fandom wiki. Well, not nothing about Warhammer, but do you want to learn Warhammer wrong? And just get your head full of a bunch of fan fiction and shit? Go to fandom. What am I actually in today? We need to find a source that salamanders spend time with their families. Not they go to their planet. We know that part. But specifically, they go home to their families. This all started because I was like, I think more people need to acknowledge that salamanders are not like ooh-woo baby. They would kill you without a second thought. The bit I sent said that they were related to people, so I think you went away when I asked you what the source for that was, and more importantly, what year did that come out? Because as we've discussed since then, Space Marines have changed and been weird before. Little gripe with fandom like that, a whole guard's average lifespan is 15 hours thing because it originated from a book talking about a specific battlefield and the fandom has said it so much. Saying salamanders are nice is a relative statement. Yes. Book was 2012. Ooh, that's pretty old. What edition were we in 2012 for Warhammer? How is 2012 old? For editions, chat, for editions. Six came out 2012? Okay. It's worth remembering that things that happened in Horus Heresy that were traditions back then often are no longer the case in 40k for a variety of reasons. No chapter is the same. Yep. I'd say that's pretty accurate. So I'm thinking with my Shattered Legions force, I'm thinking like the main force is Ultramarines for like the shooty guys. Melee dudes will be Blood Angels primarily, maybe some Ultras like in there. But like the main representation I want with Dark Angels is they're the ones with like most of the heavy shit. Like most of the special weapons and stuff go to Dark Angels. Heavy, like if I have a unit of Saturnine Terminators, they're mostly going to be Dark Angels. You know what I mean? It was mentioned specifically for the Death Watch role-playing game. Found this excerpt, a dream from a relatively young Marine named Oberday, of the size of the Emperor. Once the heresy concluded, meaning he was an Ultramarine here. He was over a century old, probably 2 at this point, went through all the psycho conditioning. Oberday came to the closest he had ever been to sleeping since the day he had fallen into the dark, but there would be no rest for him. He shuddered, thinking about to the mountain. His breathing was thundered in the ears, the whine of his blood, and a deafening contratemps. His agitation had activated his secondary heart again, and the sounding of the double thump of his pulse intensified his feelings of unworthiness. He was no warrior, but a lost boy, frightened of the things in the night. He tried to ignore the half-formed presences lurking at his senses. He tried to keep his training at the forefront of his mind to banish all emotion and focus. He thought, they shall know no fear. That had been the Emperor's command of the Legionis Astartes, focus on it, but for all his enhancements and hypno training, he was no Space Marine, not yet. He was terrified, a deeper fear gripped him, that he had failed like so many before him, that this fear made him unworthy to join the ranks of the 13th as a full legionary. The shame angered him, and through the anger he fought with fear. He anticipated would come of dread. He remembered what happened exactly, cursed by his enhanced memory. The pain and knowledge would live with him forever, even as the faces of his family faded. It looked like many cases, Marines were not strictly mind-wiped, probably varies between chapters of Legions though, but they lose their memories of their immediate families over time. Salamanders could likely squeeze a visit or 2 in their immediate families before they pass away, but that would probably continue to maintain a relationship with the greater extended family, their clans. Possibly. But also, we need to keep in mind, is this Marine that we're reading about, who is an Ultramarine at this point, an exception to the rule? Not an example, but an exception. I sent you everything with the Death Watch book? Yeah, I've got paint on the palette. 1 second. Oh, Daddy. Possum, you can be a great help for this. To summarize what we've been talking about, we started a conversation where I said salamanders probably shouldn't be whitewashed as nothing more than monsters because they're just relatively nice. Now, this extended into me using an example of salamanders being whitewashed, talking about how they go back to their families. We have been searching for more and more sources to see how accurate that statement is given their current lore, and we seem to have come across a wider conversation of how much do Marines remember, and the Space Marines that do remember their families, is it an exception to the rule and the exception to the generalization, or is it the fact that salamanders are unique in this situation? Perhaps you can help us with this. Daddy, I'm coming. I can't believe that Space Marine, he tragically died, and you're making fun of him. You're making fun of him! Oh, this is very interesting. Thank God. Release me, Possum! Release me! Just yoinking Possum as soon as he gets here. Grr! His name is Ralph. He's very nice. He is free to leave. There are a few answers to this, thank God. I knew it was something complicated. Release Ava for has his own hubris. All I said was, I sometimes get bothered when people go like, these like fascist space monsters are nice, so like that's fine. It worries me somewhat. 8th edition supplement supports salamanders living amongst people in Nocturne when they are not deployed. Absent saying anything that they are prohibited from being with their families, it would be possible for them to be with them of their own choice. But now that leads into a wider thing, John, is do they even remember it? Of which we have been looking at these excerpts of things like that guy from the Sides of the Emperor, at the time he was an Ultramarine, his memories of his family fading away. Now, whether or not he is an exception to the rule, or perhaps... Ooh, what happened here? Or perhaps... the Space Marines do remember their families, but for how long, who knows? I think salamanders are a great subject because they should show the cognitive dissonance for nice people in the Imperium. People capable of some empathy and thought, but still ruthless murderers. Yes. Salamanders in a situation... where, remember, innocence proves nothing in the Imperium, and they're highly suspicious, we'll probably just stomp you into the dirt. And I'm not trying to sit here and say that any other Legion wouldn't do the same. This motherfucker would definitely stomp you into the dirt. This motherfucker would definitely stomp you into the dirt. This motherfucker would definitely stomp you into the dirt. These guys are monsters. They're evil, and I love them. Possum's very nice. He's free to leave. It'll take a bit to type this out, so bear with me. Take your time, my friend. Take your time. Salamanders are unique because they'll stomp you to the dirt and then feel bad for your family before moving on to the next duty. Maybe. I've really kicked the hornet's nest with this whole salamander thing, huh? Ultramarines evil. Ha 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 ha. Salamanders evil. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. What did you just say? Blood animals are my favorite, but I'm not going to feel personally insulted if someone said they're evil. Yeah, we're talking about Space Marines. They suck. Part 1. So essentially the majority of the lore states that Space Marines in many chapters are taken at such a young age they have no memories of their family outside of they were a family, so visits back are uncommon due to this, especially due to rapid deployments and redeployments. I eagerly await Part 2. Everybody, give a hand to Possum from Adeptus Ridiculous. Everybody, please give a hand to Possum from Acceptable Losses. Give a hand. Give a hand, everybody. The nicest guy are the Marines Malevolent of the Imperium. At least they're honest about what they're about. I fucking hate you and I'm gonna kill you. Alright. Fair enough. There are instances where it's insinuated that the knowledge of a family is detrimental to a Space Marine. It's something where it contradicts with the indoctrination. Having ties to something non-battle related gives them potential for other motives, so it's a risk. But... Lay down the law. Here's the progress on the legs. I gotta get another Marine up here for the tax. The visual tax. One minute. Oh my god. 1 minute, 1 minute. Look at these guys for a second. Look at my cartons for a second. Those highlights are so clean, I'm jelly. They look clean, but they're not. But from 3 feet away, it don't matter. How are we going to position this? Move this arm this way. If I make some sort of like cage around the phone. Then we do this. Then we zoom in. I'm painting like this. But it needs to be... Oh my god. What if I make the phone up here? Ha 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 ha. Now we've got it. Now we're too zoomed in. We're not looking up enough. Up. There we go. Space Wolves focus a lot on lineage. Lineage is used as a badge of honor, and it's something to be prideful of. This does not mean going back for Thanksgiving dinner. It means pride. The opposite manner, Dante, we have a Space Marine. In Dante, we have a Space Marine who speaks and asks if he will forget his family, and he is essentially told yes. But as for the Salamanders, oh boy, typical Ultramarine fan got the blue curtains. This is before I was a Ultramarine collector. But also, blue's just my favorite color. This is what I'm talking about, chat. Being an Ultramarine fan, it's fucking tough. Everybody's out to kill me. All the time. Everybody hates me. Every day being an Ultramarine fan. You Salamanders folks wouldn't know. You understand my pain. Essentially, the salamanders are encouraged to visit their families and act almost as a patron saint to their tribes. This is twofold, a combination of reinforcements from the ideals of the salamander's importance to the people while also reinforcing that they're quote-unquote fighting for what they're quote-unquote fighting for. The exception to the rule doesn't mean the rule doesn't exist, and the visitation, as far as I'm able to discern, is not anything more than a I am here sort of visitation. Everybody give a hand. The lore master himself. The lore master themselves, they're here. Give a hand. He is free to leave. Surrender, Ava. Possum has the high ground now. I mean, this is why I was like perfect, because like Possum knows way more Warhammer than I do. I have precise knowledge on very specific things. And sometimes I'm wrong. But chat, this is a good outcome. You know why? Because we were both right. And now we can be friends again. Puts my gun away. Puts the catapult I was going to force you all into away. Silence, blueberry, enjoy it. Enjoy your blueberries. This is what I'm talking about. Salamanders fans, they be saying shit like this, and then the second you're like, maybe salamanders aren't as nice as people make them out to be, and they go, I'm going to kill you. How dare you? My blurbo! Listen, I get it. I get it. You got your blorbo. You love your blorbo. I love your blorbo too. What time is it? Okay, we've got time. We're good. We're good. I wanted to get painting earlier, but this sort of spiraled into a whole, like, we gotta get to the bottom of this. You pay Ava for their lore? What? Listen, Possum and I have a unique relationship. Sometimes we're just chilling and we send memes to each other, and then sometimes I text them and I go, I think Dark Angel's lore sucks. And they text back, go like, I fucking know, right? And I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank fucking God. Pepsi tax? What the fuck are you talking about? You'll find out? What? Chat. We can all come together and shake hands. Come here. Come here. Where's my hug? Where's my hug? Come here. Come here. Hey. Here, we can shake hands. Acknowledge that Space Marines are fucking cool. And the fact that there's so many different Space Marines is fucking cool. But we can also agree that without a second thought, all of us, dead. We're fucking dead. Where my hug at? Where's my hug? Dark Angel have god tier sex, but God, I wish they had better stories. This is exactly my thought. The vibe is so up my alley. Chat, you know anything about me? Like fucking Gothic Knights? Yeah, I'm there yesterday, bro. And you read the books and you're like, oh. I kind of don't give a fuck. We must find the fallen. We must determine who is a traitor. Are we traitors today? Who knows? Luther, what do you think? I'm sad or jealous. The author can't decide. Perhaps both. No, not both. I am definitely only one thing, but the next book written by different author will contradict this. Some would say that makes me a complex character. I would argue that it makes me inconsistent and confusing because I don't actually know what my motives are. Azrael, turn your head. Azrael? Azrael, turn your head. Cough. The Azrael bolter porn was alright. The Azrael... Have you seen his bolter? Yes? Mm-hmm. You're late to the Salamander War. Listen, we all were right in the end. Now we can all be friends and sing Kumbaya. We're chilling, chat. We're chilling. Why does Luther sound like a bird person? Because he's just, like, not consistently written. Some chapters, he's, like, insanely jealous of Lion. Other chapters, he's just kind of misses him as, like, a friend slash, like, family member slash lover, question mark? But then the next chapter, the next book, he'll be like, actually, I fucking hate Lion. I've always hated Lion. Like, bro needs therapy. Enemies to lovers to enemies again. Well, it's crazy because, like, the whole bomb incident is, like... He's like, I had a moment's hesitation. And somehow Lion knows about that? And so he's like, get out of here. And then he sends him to Caliban with all the dudes that he doesn't trust. And then they're just, like, bickering and infighting for, like, years and years. And Lion's like, this'll probably be fine. Like, what? And then they get a call from Horus to help out with a recompliance of a system, of which they killed many innocent people, 100%. And then... like, Lion shows up and he's like, Luther, you smelly bitch. I told you to stay on Caliban, you naughty, naughty boy. And then he leaves. I got my World of Darkness Me's addicted to video game I made called Kane Z Taxi. That's so fucking funny. Do Primarchs need to eat? No, actually. In No Fear, there's a moment where Gilliman is talking to a tech priest. And the tech priest at one point, they're talking about a dinner that they had, and the tech priest is like, you know... Oh, no, Gilliman goes like, I noticed that at our last dinner, you didn't eat anything. And the tech priest says something like, yeah, I didn't have to, but in fairness, Primarch, neither did you. And Gilliman goes, true, true, true. That's damn true. Well, it's like I've been standing this entire time, and I'm worrying that that's affecting my shaky handsness. So we're going to get this going. We're sitting, baby. We're gonna go for another half hour. Just see how many edge highlights we can get done. Part of painting black armor that I have found in this method is cleaning up by, like, you do the highlights first, then you kind of go back and do recesses and just like little touch-ups here and there, whereas every other paint job is different. But so far, I'm really liking the look of this. And when we add some red on there, ooh. Ooh. I'm also going to have to start practicing some checkerboards. That'll be interesting. Space Marines need food. Not as often, but like they need sustenance. Deadman, thank you for the sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome. I mean, you're making a joke about the whole, like, GW not writing logistics, but, like, yes, genuinely. GW is terrible at writing, like, battles or logistics or whatever, you know? They are not good at it. Which, to be fair, I probably wouldn't be very good at it either. When you're talking about, like, galactic battles that are, like, thousands and thousands of ships and stuff, like, I imagine it gets a little overwhelming to try to keep track of where everything is, but at the same time, like, you know, that's why you gotta kind of keep it vague. Chat, don't forget book club is on Wednesday. I just got the confirmation that it should be fine. I am going to be texting our special guest because she got back to me and she was like, hey, what time works for you guys? And so I'm going to tell her, like, yo, you and Carrie both live in BC. So honestly, like, any time works for me. And considering you are a mother, the ball's kind of in your court. Should have gotten a historian or strategist to help them write with the writing of their battles. Nah, it's more fun when it's just stupid bullshit going on. I like the crazy battles. Well, Bogaged, Twice Dead King, Ruin. You have like 3 days to read it. Unless you've already read it, in which case you're good, you're fine. We've delayed it a few weeks, and that's just because scheduling issues. It's all good. I'm going pretty thick with these, not intentionally, but because, again, I'm just having a bit of a shaky hands day. But we can, luckily with how this armor scheme is, we can just clean it up. It's easy. show I gotta get back to watching, chat. Witch Hat. That shit's good. It's a good show. I like it. Let's take a look at them back legs. Oh yeah, it's coming together. Yeah, that looks fucking cool. Obviously we'll need some cleanup. I keep saying it, but it's just also to remind me I've got the ADHD, you know? Speaking of ADHD, I just finished an online assignment that I was given by a psychiatrist. It's not looking good for me not having it. Well, it is what it is, you know. Your doctor lets you have ADHDs. Mm-hmm. I'm special. I had a bit of a heart attack and thought I missed my physical. But no, we're good. It's next week. Well, this week, I guess now. I'd like to have an audience while I'm painting. Sometimes I go to the Warhammer shop, but don't have to be entertaining. I don't know how you do it. You just say some things to poke the hornet's nest. Or you go, can I say something? And then you say it. But also, a lot of it is just banter. Did you know on average, most Warhammer 40k players are more likely to see possums in their lifetime? Did you know that? Statistically, you can look it up. The average American will not see as many possums as the average Warhammer fan does. It's like disproportionate. I saw a possum day in chat. There you go. See? I'm telling you. True. It is like a serious problem though. Like we shouldn't joke about it. There are some cases where people are like really upset because they keep saying that they see possum and then there is no possum and then the rest of Americans don't really understand what's going on. So some people are getting hurt. If you see a possum, don't think it, don't say it. Don't think it, don't say it. His name is Ralph. Oh, fuck. He's very nice. Fuck. Fuck. They are free to leave. That's right. Don't think it, don't say it. Don't think it, don't say it. What fucking movie was that? Was that the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man? You know what I'm talking about? One where it's like, you won't be laughing when he shits your pants or something. I can't look at the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man poster. It's too funny. It's really, really fucking funny. You won't be laughing. You won't be laughing when he kills you. The Pee Pee Poo Poo Man. My stepsister went through a big horror phase. I think she still might be in it, but I don't know. But we watched a bunch of really, really, really bad horror movies. I did not like them. And one of them was the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man. And she was like, that was really scary. And I'm like, you're 12. Of course it's scary to you. You don't know what scary is. What is this? People are sending me images. Say his name. You won't be laughing when he kills you. That's damn true. I've been sent a bird. I've been sent the Deathwatch Salamanders RPG thing. I think we should get into rage baiting. Like, I think that's really gonna like pump the numbers up. I think, you know, I think that'll be really good for the channel. Like, we gotta have like Warhammer content creators are lying to you. And it's like a picture of Bricky. And he's like rubbing his hands together like evilly. He's like, hee hee hee. There's like a possum in the corner. There's a big red arrow pointing at Bricky's forehead and it says wrong. Ava, read this for Rage Bait. I think the Lamenters are getting what they deserve. I mean, yeah. Next. Bricky with a Photoshop upside down mouth and the caption full of hot air pointed directly at his forehead. Yes. Yes, the vision. We gotta use Carrie though. Like, we need to use Carrie maliciously. Because she's a woman in the hobby space, and if we're gonna grift, we gotta grift correctly. So she needs to get like, she needs to wear like pick me clothes and like have pick me hairstyle, and then it'll be like real woman reacts to female custodies. Here's why female Space Marines is fucking stupid. Yes. We'd be able to make so much fucking blonde Carrie. Who's the one lady with the fuck ass like bright neon orange hair? That fucking idiot. I shouldn't call her an idiot, but like frankly, the things that I've seen from that channel, The Night Lords are an overrated legion to bait Bricky specifically. Dude, I'm gonna start saying some shit about Conrad Kurz, and the exact same shit that happened today is people gonna come in and be like, he's my special little Blorbo. No! Stop! Stop being critical of my war criminal! I'll be critical to every war criminal. But also, it's really fucking funny to dunk on Conrad. Hobby woman reacts to Major Kill being too woke. Major Kill and too woke do not belong in the same sentence. That feels wrong on principle, but that might be what we need to get the people to click on the video. They're going to be like, Major woke? That would be a nuke. Hi. I'm a non-binary person getting into Warhammer 40k, and frankly, can we stop making it political? I mean, God, what's gonna be next? Transhumans? Next, you're gonna tell me? Next, you're gonna tell me that the Imperium's like evil or something. You're gonna tell me that salamanders are like not monsters. Holy fuck. Possum, why didn't you put that in chat? That's fucking funny. Video simply titled, "Can the Black Legion Say It?" That's fucking funny. Video titled, "Black Legion, can they say it? Question mark? Two white people discuss. No! Two of the whitest people on the planet discuss. Can the Black Legion say it? That's fucking crazy. That's a crazy video title. Oh, he's getting there. When we add some, like, red onto the shoulder pads and stuff, it's gonna look awesome. Instant 500k views. What was that? What was that one video? Was this real? Where it was, like... It was Titus in Space Marine 2. It was, like, the trailer where it was, like, showing his head, but it was Adolf Hitler. Was that a real video? Or was that, like, just a shit post that someone made? Was that a real video? Lamau, what? I swear to God, I saw... It was probably fake. That's a real video? Oh my God. I'm not crazy, I remember. I remember. What do you mean real or shitpost? Like, I sometimes get recommended on Reddit a thing called YouTube thumbnails, and sometimes people will make fake thumbnails and be like, I can't believe this, look at this. And it's like obviously something like super fake. Nobody would actually make that. But then sometimes it's real and you go, oh. You just gotta be like, oh no. Was it an edit or someone comparing them? I don't know. Ava, I don't think Saber, they made Titus into Hitler. I'm sure it's a shitpost from the ground up. No, look it up! It's fucking real! Is it real? Is it real? If it's real, it's still a shitpost, Ava. Not until we see the fucking video. It was rage bait and criticizing the Imperium ain't fascist fans. Someone put it in the Discord now. Put it in the Discord right now. It came to me in a vision. Ooh, I'm having an off day, y'all. I can't get my lines straight for shit. That's fine. That's what the cleanup stage is for, which we'll do right now. What time is it? I got 10 minutes. We're good. We can do cleanup in 10 minutes. Absolutely. Coal black. Yeah, that leg needs a lot of cleanup. Pauldron. It was divined into the scrolls. It's in creature chat. Hold on, I'm busy. If it's not a shitpost image, I deserve an apology. How do you join the Discord? You have to be a Patreon member. It starts at $2, or you could be a sub on Twitch, or a YouTube member. It should automatically add you to the Discord. If not, try disconnecting and reconnecting your account. If that doesn't work, contact us on something like Blue Sky, and we'll try to get back to you ASAP. Patreon also has a messaging system, although it doesn't notify me when someone is trying to get my attention, so it's a little frustrating. Chat, it's crazy that I'm already starting my Fallen army with this one miniature. It's crazy. Again, I said it earlier. Like, how do you make two Warhammer armies? You do you start collecting Horus Heresy. You start painting Dark Angels. Boom, CSM Fallen. Easy, bro. Easy. Make him repent, Asmodai. All you need now is Cypher, pretty much. Oh, yeah. He looks fucking cool. You know what? We have 5 minutes. Why don't we try to do a little bit of a checkerboard pattern? Now, where should we do it? I'm thinking... Left knee. You are wise. You are wise. Left knee, right here. We're gonna do this for practice. Holy moly, Requims, thank you for all of the gifted subs. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome. We're using corn red for this. Just a teeny bit. Just a teeny tiny little bit. How the hell are we gonna do this? Make a line. Then another line of equal size. Okay. Go for lines. Then same for that. The knees have these 3 little dots on them, the little studs. So I'm aiming for those. I'm going to do 3 lines. Like this. Oh, baby. Yes. Okay. Whoops. Now we take our corn red. And we just start to pick every other square. I fucked up immediately. It's fine. Ooh. Ooh, it needs another coat, but... Ooh, I like that. Ooh. 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 Where's my corn red? We'll do this, and then we're done. And then I gotta get ready, have some food, get some questions done, get some edits done. But thank you all for coming on by. We had a fun little discussion. Fun little time discussing salamanders. I think I want to wrap that up by saying the lore is what you want it to be. So if you want your salamanders to be able to remember their families and they visit them on occasion, I think that's great. And I think you should be able to have that be your canon. Because I think ultimately that's what this hobby's about, you know? About making your own little stories with your own little blorbos. And if I'm like, well, it's not actually lore accurate, whatever. As long as you're having fun. As long as you like your little blorbos. It don't matter. Add a little bit of black to the edges of those checkerboards. Oh, they look more like circles now. One sec. I'm going to clean up the lines a little bit. There we go. Much better. Much better. My Dark Angel successors have no Terminator armor because I thought it would be funny. Yeah. Yeah, that checkerboard looks really cool. Hell yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, that's going to wrap up for today. We'll be back maybe tomorrow. Depends on how busy I am. But next time we come back, we're probably going to be painting more of this Dark Angel. The Imperial Fist is doing pretty well. Here he is next to an Ultramarine test. I would like to paint this guy at some point as an Ultramarine Sergeant. And then give, like, the white mask and everything. We'll see. Oh, also, I managed to get the Night Lord head off of this guy. And I think somewhere in my bits box, I have a beaky helmet. So we could make this dude into a Raven Guard. What's your thoughts on the Steam machine / controller? I don't know. At the end of the day, this is all stories, and the beauty of stories is that they change with everything. I mean, the thing with Warhammer is that it's just a setting. Like, all this stuff that we're talking about is just so, again, we can have our little blorbos be like, I really like this thing. Controller is sick. I just got it. I'm loving it. Cool. Alrighty. Well, thanks for coming on by, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow for probably Black Sad. Expect High Elves probably this week, unless the schedule blows up in my face. We'll see. There's a chance that I go to export and the computer goes, I'm gonna fucking kill you! Don't make me export it! But yeah. Anyway, y'all. Thanks for coming on by. See you in the next one. Probably see you tomorrow, most likely. Look forward to High Elves. If you are part of a $9 tier on Patreon, you can go listen to the audio for free. So for free. No, for $9 you can go watch it. Listen to it, rather. Today I am going to be trying to get the visual version up for $9 patrons as well. We'll see how it goes. Anyway. $9 for free. Anyway. For free, you say. You can watch the Spearheads that Lou and I have been playing on the Discord. We record those and put those up on Patreon for free, so you can go check those out. Anyway. See y'all later. Bye.